What's up, fight fans? We are heading all the way to Sydney, Australia this weekend with some absolutely outstanding matchups. Dricus Du Plessi versus Sean Strickland rematch world title main event. This is one you're not going to want to miss. And just for you, to make this fight night even better, I have teamed up with DraftKings to bring you all a great offer right now. DraftKings is giving all new customers $200 in bonus bets instantly after they place a wager for just $5. So don't wait. Download the DraftKings app. Do it right now. When you sign up, use the code SONNEN. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Stay in on the action. Use your $200 in bonus bets for same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. You can combine multiple bets together from the same fight. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy for a shot to win cash prizes. I want you to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. When you sign up, place in at least a $5 wager, use the promo code SONNEN. Get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code SONNEN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Just how good is DDP on the mic? I want you to think about that. Just how good is he? He is proven to be formidable. He is proven to be able to invoke an opponent. He's proven to be able to invoke a reaction from you guys. Surprisingly positive. Like, DDP has said some things, but boy, does he ever do it with charisma. And he'll do it with a smile on his face. DDP talked about death a week ago, and he said that everybody asked themselves the same question. Am I willing to die out here? And he said, dying's easy. The real question is, are you willing to kill? Are you willing for that man to die? And you live and go on with your life, if that's what it took for victory. And then he said about himself that he is. That's what separates him. And I'm only sharing for you, that's a hot line. That's a hot topic. But Dricus is able to have some of these hot mic moments come right through him. So can we agree that he's good on the mic? Yes? Okay. Well, just how good is he? Because he's in a very peculiar weight class right now. 185 pounds has never had a spotlight on it like it does right now. By the way, it's not over. It was last week with Izzy. It's this week with these guys. But the month ends with Cannonier. I mean, it's all 185. Right? You got Arnold Allen is going to slip in there on a different weekend. Like, 185 pounds is being looked at right now. But what's so peculiar about it is the consensus number one guy is none of the guys I just mentioned. The large belief, if you were to just do a popularity, just ask people, who do you think, is Khamzat Chimaev. So, I believe Chimaev's next, but that hasn't been made perfectly clear. It turns out Chimaev is not the backup fighter, which still you think would mean that he's next, but he doesn't appear to be next. He's not talking about championships. He's talking about Sean Strickland. Chimaev has been very aggressive going at Sean, but I don't know of anything Chimaev had to say to Dricus. I don't know of anything that Dricus had to say to Chimaev. Like, it does kind of appear that Chimaev, while we think is the number one contender, moreover is aligning himself with Strickland. Is there a strategy there? Is he tipping his hat that he thinks Sean is going to win? Or are they not related? I'm just sharing for you what's going on. I'm sharing for you the landscape, because it can be very risky when you're not named the number one contender, and that is not something that more recently the UFC is afraid to do. I remember when Merab flies out to Miami to watch Cheeto and O'Malley, and Merab sat there, announced ahead of time as the guy that will be taking on the winner. I remember Sphere, O'Malley versus Merab, where Nurmagomedov was put in the front row and identified ahead of time as the guy who would be facing the winner. So, it's not as though there's this policy where we don't announce that, but it is accurate by me that it's yet to have been announced. Should we draw into that? Is that an area we should look at? Because if Dricus comes in second. History says you got to go to the rubber match. And by the way, trilogies do great if it's a true trilogy. We've had a number of trilogies, but it's the third time guys fought. The third time guys fought is not a true trilogy. Trilogy, with that colloquial definition, comes with they split results in the first two. I mean, it would be a big deal. We could agree. We want to see this fight, Sean and Dricus, but if Sean wins, and we are going to want to see that rematch while knowing we've got to do something with Chimaev, but we also know that we can pull the rug out on Chimaev because we're hearing about this travel business, and more than anything, he hasn't been announced ahead of time as the number one contender. Like, there was no way to get around Merab if you were O'Malley. There was no way to get around Nurmagomedov if you were Merab. There was no way around it. But we do have a workaround. And if Dricus comes up short, and you're acknowledging with me that he's good on the mic. The guys that are good on the mic can go both ways. They got a direction to go if they win. They got a direction to go if they come in second. And there should be nothing that Dricus does other than get himself an immediate rematch, of which I believe he's going to. If Dricus is to lose to Sean, I do believe Dricus gets an immediate title shot. And all that would mean is that Dricus' next fight will be for the championship. I don't know. Possibly they will do Sean and Chimaev in between. But there is a little flexibility right now. And there is a job to be done. Right? This whole division would be in a very different spot had Adesanya won last week and got an opportunity on the mic. He would have gone after somebody and that fight would have been made. And I'm just wondering if you believe Dricus has that same ability. Does Dricus have that same skill? Does Dricus know to go out and to demand and call for it? Because Sean Strickland did it, but he did it late. Sean did not, the night that he relinquished the belt, make it clear to all of us that he disagreed with that decision and that he should be given a rematch. He got to that eventually, but it wasn't right away. I'm wondering, what do you think Dricus could do? If you think that Dricus is good on the mic, if you think he's good enough on the mic, make sure you understand what the competition is. Competition is one thing. There's only one thing that could possibly get in the way, and that's Chimaev. So where do you think that's going to go? Are you confident that Chimaev is next? Are you confident regardless of outcome in the main event? Regardless of outcome, are you confident that he is next? Because if he was, and I was to follow recent history, Nurmagomedov, Merab, if I was to follow recent history, he would have been announced by now. But he's not.